and I'm one of the professional development educators here with PBIS Rewards.
And I am Anna Michaels. I'm also a professional development educator with PBIS Rewards, and we're so glad that you could join us today.
And as trainers for PBIS Rewards, we've had a lot of people, a lot of schools, a lot of users say, how can we implement PBIS Rewards with success for our entire school campus? Well, today we are interviewing a school that is doing just that. Today we are talking with some of the staff members from Huron Elementary in Huron, California. So let's start off with you all just telling us a little bit about your school and about your roles there.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Johnny Garza. I'm the Director of Student Services and Family Support, and I love the school that we are going to be talking about, so I'll let them introduce themselves also.
I'm Sophie Penrizo. I'm the principal of Huron Elementary.
Everyone, my name is Norma Cruz, and I'm the Vice Principal at Huron Elementary School.
I am Sarah Pruitt. I am the academic/instructional technology coach at Huron Elementary. I've been here for a year and a half.
My name is Celia Cruz. I'm the school counselor. I've been here for 7 years with Huron Elementary School.
It's fantastic. And we are so glad that you all are taking time out of your busy schedules to be here with us to tell us about kind of your PBIS Rewards journey. One thing that we know about your school is you've got that teacher buy-in going for you with this particular program. What were some of the things that you all did to really build that excitement about using PBIS Rewards?
So it all started because district office had directed us to avoid from using a free application, which were wonderful because they also have like the point system, the reward system, and it motivated some kids. But because of some confidential issues that were identified, we were asked not to use those apps anymore. So we were actually introduced to PBIS by another sister school at our same district. So we had no idea that this existed. And so I brought it to my administration. They were excited about it. They were like, okay, look into it, Celia, see what it's all about. And I came back and I really loved it. So then our admin loved the price because she compared it. She's all about budget. So she compared it with how much does it cost to print tickets versus how much does it cost for the app. So she loved the safety about it. She loved that because of COVID, there's a safetiness that comes with it. And then budget-wise, it worked out for our school. And she's actually considering to continue to keep this program. You know, we introduced it to our leadership, to our teachers, but it was more about how do we buy in our admin, but our admin loved it, like I said, so that's how it started. And then we introduced it to our leadership team. They were actually looking into a variety of apps, and one of our leadership teachers had brought up the PBIS, and Ms. Penrizo was like, oh, as a matter of fact, that's what Celia's gonna talk about today. So there was already like a little bit of background because the teachers were looking into something themselves, and it just happened to be PBIS Rewards. And we just ran with it. We didn't know what we were getting ourselves into. And pretty much it's been, we have this program every morning, our Nest, and this is where admin is also involved. And I'll have Ms. Penrizo talk about more the Nest and how they actually talk to the teachers in the morning and how they get the teachers involved as well.
So we have this out of the box idea called Nest Mom, Nest because we're the Huron Eagles. And so we wanted to replicate the idea of kids coming into school on a regular day if they were in person, and how that would look like in a virtual world. And so normally when the kids are coming through the gates, we have staff members greeting them every morning, you know, making sure they're on the playground, and then, you know, saying goodbye to them and making sure they enter into their classrooms. And so our Nest Mom idea is similar to that, where each grade level is assigned a Nest Mom. I am a Nest Mom for 3rd grade. Ms. Pruitt's a Nest Mom for 4th grade now. Ms. Norma Cruz is a Nest Mom for 1st grade. It's the idea of building relationships with the students and having another layer of connection for the kids. And so every morning we'll open up our Nest Mom session a little bit before school starts. we give our morning announcements, we greet the kids, we check in with them, and then the teachers will log in. And once the teachers log in, that's when we dismiss them off to their classes. In this virtual world, it would be a breakout room. And so not only do we recognize the importance of building relationships, so not only are the students building a relationship with their teacher, but they're also building relationships with their nest mom. And so we got that harebrained idea, and it kind of, with everything else this year, it's kind of trial and error. And Miss Sarah Pruitt, which is our tech person, she has been absolutely amazing and has been, I can't just say it enough. So she's the one who took this idea of this nest mom and made it into reality, because we were trying to figure out how are we going to do this? Even with PBIS and rolling out with our source store, the technology component behind it. We have our own, we call it the, here on Amazon, ordering, packing, shipping, all of that stuff. She's been just instrumental in making sure that happens, and that happens very smoothly on the teacher's end as well as on the student's end. I mean, the chaos is on our end, but they can't tell. So, but yeah, that's our Nest Mom idea. And I am so happy that Celia brought on PBIS, because it was a smooth transition, because we already were implementing PBIS. And so the app was very, if a school's already implementing PBIS and they have their matrix, their expectations, and so on and so forth, it's a pretty easy transition.
And the other thing that has really made a difference in getting teacher buy-in is, we do have this nest session, as Sophie just talked about. And what happens is, and she started it and then told us she was doing it. She goes, oh yeah, no, we're in the Zoom, it's all virtual, right? You have the kids who have the cameras on, the kids who have the cameras off, the ones who are like, I don't think I want to get out of bed yet. And she starts going, oh, hey, I like how you're sitting at your desk this morning and you're ready and your camera's on. I'm going to give you a point. And hey, I'm going to give you a point because, for whatever reason that she's seeing. And then the teachers log on and they see that. And they go, oh, hey, if the principal's giving points for these things, we can give points for these things. And then the teachers, they were like, wait, what? We can give points for they attended the Zoom session?
Okay.
Yes, you can. We can give points for they turned in their work. Yes. We can give points for their cameras on. Yes, absolutely. Do it. I know you guys have the bell curve, and how many is too many, how many is not enough, what's the sweet spot in the middle. And we did do some discussion about that, and we figured out that if each grade level, give or take, with some exceptions for the smaller grades and the larger grades, with the smaller class sizes, each class should be getting about 250 points. But expanding on that, it's not just the teachers responsible for giving the points, because the nest moms are with them for the first session. We have aides helping the teachers. They're called our Eagle Eyes. Everyone on site has a PBIS account, from the security guard to the front office secretary to the cafeteria aides that are helping in the Zoom sessions with the teachers. Everyone has one.
That's awesome. It really sounds like you have been so inclusive of all your teachers and really making what you had working at your campus already with PBIS, really amping it up too with PBIS Rewards.
Right. And the other thing that happened pretty early on because we've only done one order fulfillment so far. We're doing it once a month. We've done one. I know a few things I want to change already, but when we opened it up and the kids started realizing, hey, this is it. It was a Saturday morning at 8 a.m. I, get an email, I look on my phone, and it was one of our 4th grade students. And I'm starting to tear up right now. She emailed me to thank me and the SOAR team, because that's our goals. We're SOAR, we're Eagles, the Nest, the SOAR. we used to have a live SOAR store, and she said, thank you and the SOAR team for bringing back the SOAR store and making virtual learning fun. And I just started crying, and I emailed that to, you know, the entire SOAR team, and I emailed it to all of the teachers, and I said, this is why what we're doing is important, and got feedback from them going, wow, it's nice getting that feedback and knowing that it means something to the kids.
That, Sarah, really helps us kind of look at our next question we're going to ask you is just what is making PBIS Rewards really work successfully when you're working with your students virtually? So it sounds like your store is really a huge component of that. What else do you contribute to that success?
The communication. I feel like everything, like just to back up a little bit, I don't think anything of this is possible without first admin support, right? If you have admin buy-in and they're participating and they're engaging and they're using it, then everyone else is going to be motivated or inclined to want to use it at a 99%. So, but I think it's the communication. So Ms. Penrizo and Ms. Cruz assigned me and Sarah to work together and on this project. And so I think a lot of it has to do with, okay, how is this going to work in this setting? What is it going to look like? Well, we had to make up a lot of fictionist students, and we had a couple of teachers who helped us to see what it was going to look like. So the success comes from, of course, the support. It comes from the communication. It comes from a lot of team player, because I mean, it's like we go back and forth. Sarah and I met, like we meet in the afternoons, we do evening meetings. Of course, we also, a lot of the ideas that we get is through your trainings. It's very important that we attend your webinars and even your recordings. I know Sarah does the President Days trainings. I will follow up with the recording ones. And so it's, even though she did it, that doesn't mean that I don't watch them, because we need to be on the same page. Because sometimes I'll miss something or she'll miss something, or I'll catch something. So it's just like a team approach effort that has helped us. And like Ms. Penrizo said earlier, it's like just a learning. I mean, we haven't been doing this for very long. I think we've only been doing this for like 3 months, if even that. But we've been really working at it because we want this to be successful. And we've been talking about how is this going to work? We really didn't know how it was going to work. It was more about trial and error, and our administration trusting us that, okay, let's try it and see what happens.
Well, and it's like I keep hearing this theme of community, you know, of teamwork, of collaboration, working together. And one thing that's amazing, like you just said, you've only been doing this 3 months. Let's be real. We could not tell. You know, actually your school, you have several members that are part of our Facebook user group. Mm-hmm. You all have just been phenomenal within that group of just helping other people. Honestly, if we would not have known that you've only been using PBIS Rewards for 3 months, we would have no clue, because of just how well you're doing the program and how you've also just reached out to help others. That's part of why we want to highlight your school. Yet you speak of this community piece. One fantastic thing you all have been able to do is to really roll this PBIS Rewards system out to your entire school community, not just your staff, not just your students, but also your families. So tell us a little bit about how you were able to truly take this whole school community approach to using PBIS Rewards.
We first start off with our school site council members. So part of our school site council members, it involves our parents. Okay, so our parents don't speak English. They are part of our school site council. So we have to keep in mind, you know, their language, you know, and we're able to provide that for them. So we try our best to provide any barrier that we can to our parents, even through school site council meetings. We need parents, we need involvement. So that's how we start off. We introduced it to them, they loved it, and they still didn't even know what was happening, and they loved the program. Because our school is so rural, it really is. Ms. Penrizo always says, we don't even have a stoplight here. We really don't. There's just like, yeah, we really don't. She's not kidding when she says that. And we're so diverse. We're very diverse here. So we always keep in mind the variety of the different cultures and who we have to target, meeting our parents at their level, understanding the culture. And so that's something that we do. We try our best, and we communicate with each other like, okay, Mr. Garza is actually from Huron. He was raised here, and he's our director. So he understands we understand the culture, but he understands like the families, like this is how we roll here, right? So he gives us that perspective. Miss Penrizo's husband is also a teacher, and he's also from Huron. So she knows how things roll here. And so, and I think that's been very helpful to understand our parents. So with that, saying all that, we have provided our parents with a certain level of workshops and how we present our workshop towards them. And Sarah will present right now the presentation as to what type of workshop we did. You know, with our raffle, and anytime we have a dress up day, this week was Read Across America week, the kids dress up, and we don't want them just dressing up for nothing. So our culture is all about, let's make a rifa, let's do a loteria, let's play bingo. So we implemented the raffle, PBIS rewards. We're pretty flexible. Our community is agriculture workers, so our parents don't get home till after 5 o'clock. You know, and so we've made our raffles available for 6:30 live PM. And so our parent, Mr. Garza, one time caught me, and I'm like, where is he at? And he was at, I think, his niece's house or something. And so, so I do these Zoom live raffles, and we do the whole raffle thing live. Parents are there. Sometimes if the kid, maestra, my son's name is not on there. And so, you know, I'll make sure I do it. And, you know, they're there. And the parents are in the background. I can see them, and they're cheering, and they're just laughing at me because I'm just doing something, dancing or something in the background. And so we have the parents, and the parents are so excited, like, oh, I can't wait to see, you know, because it's just about, that's what we love to do. We love to play loteria and bingo and raffles and everything. And we've taken that approach, like meeting them at their level and meeting them where they're at, meeting them at what's gonna attract them, because, you know, right now we're in this virtual setting and it's more difficult.
I can add a little there, Celia. I do, because she's selling herself short. When she says meeting them at their level, she's meeting them in the middle of the night with dinner, Saturday, Sunday afternoon, because she knows that's when their day off is. You know, so they get the feeling of this school cares for me and cares for my kids, cares for my family, because they're doing it on their own time, and they know that I work till 5 o'clock. They know I'm exhausted, you know, and she's, you know, and I used to tell her when I was there, worry about your family too, because she's over here on Saturdays and Sundays and her family's home, you know. So, but yeah, so don't let her sell herself short. She has gone the extra mile for that. So when she says I meet them at the level, it's not about, you know, it's everything, you know, and it's like knowing that they are at work and they are tired when they get home. So I will try to meet with them on Saturday or Sunday, you know, because we all know on Sundays our city likes to rest and be with family. So she knows she's going to catch them then too. So yeah, she does a wonderful job at doing that, reach out. And that's, you know, one of the things that we pride ourselves in is being that communicative person or communicative, you know, atmosphere. And because in order to get buy-in, they have to know that we care. And the care from this school is genuine. I'll tell you that right now. From all these ladies here to the teachers, and the students know that too.
Ms. Penrizo was telling a gentleman last week, I think Ms. Penrizo, like, if you really want to work here and you want to serve with the purpose, it's not just about our kids, it's about our parents and the community. So, I mean, I feel like I'm like, I appreciate that. I appreciate them accepting me. And I think that's what we have a really great buy-in into when we add something to the school. And I do have to admit, for me personally, professionally, I feel like we've been more consistent with the PBIS rewards than with other programs. Admin can probably attest to that. I feel like this has been kept me to be very consistent because it's a very consistent program, and you guys are wonderful. When we have emails and questions, you guys respond so quickly, and that helps a lot too.